Hello, can you hear me?
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. It's
Good.
cold.
It's cold. It's beautiful here. I think it's 10 degrees.
Oh,
The-
we're minus 21.
Oh, yeah. You're in Alberta, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why the hell do you live in Alberta?
a good question, right? So how have you been doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Working hard to try and recoup the business that I lost. But we're making some headway.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
hmm
Yes, so
Minus
I know.
21.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you just want to stay inside. So,
Yeah. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
so today we were to talk further on getting the bookkeeping services started.
Okay.
So, what the best strategy was for that. So, yeah, I was giving it some thought, and I there are a few different streams. One, it could be persons who, well, depending on the level they're at. Some persons might just be able to say, okay, I can. They might come in from the avenue they want to get their taxes done, and then we can have refer them, and then sometimes when they come to have their taxes done, they realize, okay, their books need updating. So from that angle, we could definitely have that service. And then the add-on to that, or the upsell, or the next is after your bookkeeping is up, then you got to keep your eyes on the numbers. So basically those three different areas. Yeah,
Okay.
that I thought, yeah.
Okay. I think we need to do a hell of a lot more. Um, because
So
I
in
think,
terms of service offerings, you mean, or?
well, in terms of service offerings, I'm sure we could offer 3 to 10 different income
Mhm.
streams to
Yeah.
once we meet the client or once we have the client.
Mhm.
So I don't think the problem is going to be servicing the client because I'm sure we can hire people that can do that, right?
Yeah, outsource. Mhm.
And I'm sure you can manage and train those people who manage the people. Um, I think the biggest challenge is going to be to make sure that we have enough or a conveyor belt of steady new clients coming in.
Yeah, the pipeline. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically with that pipeline, it's organic or paid advertising. I've heard organic works better.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that in terms of the marketing approach?
Well, I mean, this is a battle that we deal with every single day when we start with a new client.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this week we're onboarding a new client, and the client's going to be doing custom built basements. So we're designing a
Mm-hmm.
strategy so he can start from scratch. Basically,
Yeah.
he has a job right now where he can start from scratch and create a $20 million company within the next 8 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest part of that is differentiation.
Mm-hmm.
And this applies to the bookkeeping as well as the basement, as well as any other
Yeah,
company.
exactly.
How do you stand head and shoulders above your competition? Because if you don't do that, if you don't stand head and shoulders above your competition, then you're gonna spend in hell. You're gonna spend 40 years in hell trying to promote your business. I'll give you a quick
Mm-hmm.
example because I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yes.
Statistics show that the average painting company takes anywhere from 20 to 40 years to get to $800,000. $800,000. If they put 10% of the bottom line, I mean, that's pretty pathetic. That's what the average painting company does. And some of these guys have been around for 20 to 40 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is the average. Now let's look at one of the top ones. Wow One Day Painting does $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the average $800,000, Wow One Day, $100 million. I don't know how long they've been in business, maybe 10, 12, 15 years. I should check on that. Now you look at Certapro painters, they do $800 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you look at the average, Joe's painting, Fred's painting, whatever they use, then you have wow. Now that word wow, I believe accounts for $100 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certapro got there with sheer might, sheer marketing, sheer will, and not a lot of differentiation smarts. They did it because they wanted to do it. Had they used differentiation, because Certapro is not a great name from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Wow One Day, I think, is a better name because wow makes a promise to your future potential clients. The
Mm-hmm.
promise is go with us, we'll make you extremely happy or deliriously happy, right? So the name creates a promise of future happiness or enjoyment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to look at it from that perspective as well. I don't want to be the average bookkeeper because the average bookkeeper, has a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a spectacular bookkeeping company or something outrageous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that differentiation combined with organic marketing or pay-per-click or other business tools, should get us to the 20 million as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking to do. I don't want to do $1 million in bookkeeping. I want to do at least 20 million in the next 5-6 years.
Okay. So, and that's good. So, yeah, that makes sense. In terms of the differentiation, what differentiates us from the other bookkeepers?
Well, sometimes we work 3 months to 6 months looking at that or working on that around the clock. So the products, I mean, you can create a bit of a differentiation on the products itself, but products only get you so far because everyone is trying to offer different products and different services, and they offer the most profitable products generally. So
Mm-hmm.
that's an area where they keep looking at. Where they don't keep looking at, I believe, is the name or the branding itself. So I think differentiation to get us to $20 million is probably in the name and the branding itself.
Okay.
And I think that's where we need to focus.
So we started coming up and with ideas for the name, and then from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, we can't work on one thing at a time because that's what every company does, and that's why it takes us 40 years to get there.
Yeah.
But the focus has to be on branding, and of course, the product, how we're going to deliver that product, how we're going to collect reviews, and how we're going to use media to catapult us to the next level. So those
Mm-hmm.
are all extremely important areas that we need to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, taxes, it's funny you mentioned taxes first. I think I told you that I was offered a position with a US-based company, and that US-based company, 50% of their revenue is done on tax strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, two different major companies have tried launching in Canada to create those same tax strategies, and they failed because the tax advantages that are available in US are not available in Canada, or at least they look at it from a different perspective and they couldn't see an opportunity. So these are multi-billion-dollar companies that
Mhm.
looked at Canada. So is there something that they couldn't find in terms of
Well, the thing
taxes?
is, the tax laws are definitely different. However, in every company, in every country, you need strategy, right? So I do find the approach here with tax planning, and depends on how sophisticated a business owner you are. There are some more sophisticated you are, the more you'll dive to have your strategy, your tax plan. However, the other ones, they just think, I just need my tax returns filed, so it's definitely diving more into that education piece. Because I do know of companies in the States, they will say, I can see that this was on taxes, accounting firms who are doing that, and it's a big thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in Canada, it's going to be more of an education piece, somewhat to let them know this is possible. You can save on taxes. You can have a tax plan. This I can see with this much view, stuff like that.
Okay. I'm not well educated in taxes, especially the difference between US and Canada.
Mhm.
US, the reason why they're successful is they can save, the average company at least $100,000 or $150,000. And they generally get 30 to 40,000 out of those savings, right?
Mhm.
So again, my understanding, I could be wrong. The advantages is corporate level, and it seems the advantages in Canada are on a personal level. Is that
No,
accurate or no?
yeah, no, it's on both levels. You can get it. You just have to know it's just, and one of the things persons don't, they see it's two separate entities, your personal, your business. However, what's happening in your personal will impact what your business is too, right? As the owner. So it's diving into those understandings. A lot of persons don't realize that. So I think it's definitely, you know, an angle we could approach it at for sure.
Okay. So can I give you a bit of homework?
Yeah, so we are going to come up with the name, some name suggestions, and how can we be differentiated? That's our thing.
Okay. I will work on the name and differentiation mostly. If you come up with ideas, we can certainly talk about it next time. But what I would like from you is, let's say, an average company, an average painting company, since we were talking about painting companies. An average painting company, if we were to approach the average painting company, how much could we save them or make them by giving them a better strategy or giving them better bookkeeping or making them aware of their numbers? So your top three.
Okay, we
So
can think about
using the
that. Yeah.
top three and using an $800,000 company, um, how could we impact them? Number one, and how much could we make by impacting them in those ways? Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
And I'll keep
Sounds
working
good.
on the branding side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And let's schedule a meeting, whenever you have some numbers for me, and we can
Okay.
talk about it. Okay.
All right. Sounds good then, Leo.
All right. Have a great day. Stay
You too.
warm.
Thanks.
We'll
Yeah.
talk soon. Bye.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.